Lucas Hill began his day with coffee at home. He set his time and listened to a video message on his laptop. The sender hinted at a deal that could make him wealthy. Hill planned a trip to St. Petersburg, where he expected to participate in a major transaction involving rare blue diamonds. He was then informed that his jet would be boarding in 10 minutes. When he arrived at the hotel where the meeting was scheduled, the receptionist, Risa, informed him that his contact, Piotr, had left an hour earlier. She explained that some men had come asking about him. Frustrated, Lucas left and told her to inform Lucas to meet him in Mirny at the Goring guest house. Lucas asked if she could get him into his room. They were supposed to meet Vyulov in exactly 37 minutes, and Lucas questioned where the sample dealer was. Shortly after, Boris Volkov appeared. Sitting with Lucas, he stated that he had gathered $50 million, which was not easy work, but he now felt it was all for nothing because Lucas had not kept his end of the bargain. Later, Lucas returned to his room, switched to a new phone from his stash, and sent another message to Piotr. He told him he was coming to Mirny and asked him to call as soon as possible. Lucas then set out for Mirny, a bleak town in Siberia where he was told to wait at the guest house. When he arrived, Piotr was not there. The receptionist told Lucas that he knew Piotr's American friend was coming and that Piotr had instructed him to put the American in his room. Lucas asked if there was anywhere open for a drink. The receptionist said there was a cafe across the street but warned that he would get cold. As Lucas was about to leave, the phone rang. The receptionist said the call was for him. A man had called 20 minutes earlier asking for him. Lucas answered the phone, and it was Vincent. Vincent reminded him that they were still friends. Lucas replied that he was friends with everyone. Vincent told him to take whatever the deal with Vyulov promised and to add 5%. He said there was no need to say yes immediately, but just not to say no. While passing time in a local cafe, Lucas kept calling Piotr, but there was no answer. Two men sitting there asked the waitress, Katia, if she liked Yefrem, the man sitting with them, or the American. Katia ignored them, but they kept talking about Lucas in Russian. Yefrem then stood up and started taking off his pants. Lucas interrupted, speaking in Russian. The waitress recalled that the two men had been drinking for 3 hours before being thrown out without paying. Lucas had paid their bill. When Lucas left the cafe, the two men cornered and beat him, stealing the bottle he had been carrying. When the area grew quiet, Katia found him lying battered near the entrance. She ran to him, tried to wake him up, and decided to take him back to her apartment for shelter. By morning, Lucas woke up in Katia's apartment. He left a message for Piotr, asking him to pick up the phone and call him. Katia offered him French toast and noted that he was not much of a talker. Their moment was interrupted when Katia's brother Ivan arrived. He was displeased to see a stranger there. Katia explained that Lucas had slept on the couch. Ivan reminded her that Anton was a good man for her and that they would have a good life together. Ivan commented that his brother's wife was not good for much, but was good for certain things. Katia asked Lucas what he would do if she asked him to sleep with her, hinting at wanting intimacy. Lucas hesitated. He mentioned an upcoming meeting with Piotr's brother Andrei, who worked at the local mine. With her brothers already assuming she had spent the night with him, Katia chose not to fight their perception. She agreed to accompany Lucas to the mine and returned with him later. At the mine, Lucas waited for Andrei. When Andrei arrived, he said they could not talk there and led Lucas to his car. In the car, Andrei told him that Piotr had flown in yesterday but left again. A man named Samson was looking for him. Andrei added that someone had sold Samson some diamonds. He gave Lucas his number, saying it was secure. Lucas then called to arrange a flight. The airport staff told him there would be no flights today or tomorrow because the airport was closed. While driving back, Katia told him she needed to open the cafe. She asked if he was disappointed that she was leaving. Lucas said he was, but they laughed it off. Back in his room, Lucas remembered the time before he came to Russia, when he had promised his wife he would not be gone long. That evening, Lucas drank with Katia's brothers who were protective of her. The tension eased after they shared drinks, sang songs, and eventually walked together like friends. They told him to meet them at dawn the next morning to go hunting. Later, Lucas video called his wife, showing her the house he was staying in. He said he would be out hunting the next day. When she asked if he had been drinking, he admitted it. She ended the call soon after. As he lay on the bed, Lucas thought about Katia and eventually decided to see her. He visited her cafe and brought a gift, saying it was in case she decided to hate him. Their distance collapsed, and they shared a kiss that led to intimacy in the kitchen. By dawn, Lucas joined Katia's brothers for a bear hunt. Anton joked about finishing Lucas off right there. As they laughed, the dog caught a scent and barked before sprinting ahead. They followed and saw a bear. Gunfire broke out and one bullet hit the dog. To end its suffering, Lucas shot it mercifully. Afterward, Lucas returned to his room. He called Boris and agreed to meet in St. Petersburg the next day at 11. Lucas said he would be flying back the next day. Before leaving, Lucas visited Katia again. They were intimate once more. That evening, Katia showed him a photograph of her family and explained that she had been working in an agency but returned home after her parents died. While they were in the bath, Katia asked if Lucas could stay longer. He said he wished he could, but that his business in St. Petersburg could not wait. Katia said she thought he was in some sort of trouble. He admitted that might be true. After spending time together, Lucas left. Ivan silently observed him. Back in St. Petersburg, Lucas asked the hotel receptionist if Pyotr had returned. She said there was still no sign of him, but that Boris Vyulov had been calling several times a day, demanding answers. Lucas went to Pyotr's old room and searched through his belongings. He found a gun and a blue candle. The candle looked identical to one he had given Katia earlier. When he broke it open, he discovered a diamond hidden inside. He called Katia and asked her to come to St. Petersburg, telling her to bring the candle he had given her. He said he would explain everything when she arrived. Katia questioned if he only wanted the candle and saw herself merely as the one delivering it. As Lucas tested the diamond, Boris called, pressing him for a meeting. Lucas stalled, saying he had a sample but needed more time. Boris suspected Lucas was talking to others, possibly South Africans. Lucas asked if Boris could host him and his associates. Boris told him that he was his guest and should bring the samples, naming 8 p.m. as the meeting time. Vincent later contacted Lucas again, telling him to meet at Lyons Bridge the next morning at 9 a.m. They met, and Vincent asked if Lucas had a smartphone, warning that Boris could track him. Vincent said he owed Lucas a debt and wanted to repay it. He warned that Lucas's visibility had become dangerous and advised him to leave Russia, hinting that the FSB was watching him. Lucas then called Andrei, asking if Pyotr had betrayed him. He believed Pyotr had disappeared with the diamonds. Andrei said it was Pyotr, implying unpredictability. Lucas told him the FSB was involved and to warn Pyotr if he called. Katia arrived in St. Petersburg together. She and Lucas broke open her candle and found another diamond inside, but when tested, it was a counterfeit. Lucas told her it was the best fake he had ever seen. Katia asked if his wife knew about his work, and he said yes. Despite the disappointment, they were intimate again. Katia asked if real diamonds could lose their color, and Lucas said genuine ones never changed. She asked if that was why he loved them, and he said he loved them because they were beautiful, rare, and tough. Lucas prepared for his meeting with Boris. Katia stayed in the hotel drinking champagne while waiting. Lucas met Boris and presented the single blue diamond. The diamonds were tested and verified. Boris asked if the rest were genuine, and Lucas confirmed. Katia unexpectedly appeared and joined them. The group indulged in drugs. Boris expressed admiration for Lucas and wanted to bond with him like a brother, but this came with a disturbing condition. They had to exchange their women. Lucas refused, but Boris persisted. With Katia's reluctant agreement, Lucas eventually complied. Afterward, Katia became angry and sad. Lucas tried to calm her. When they returned to the hotel, they found an FSB officer named Polizin waiting in his room. Polizin told Lucas that if he wanted to leave Russia alive, he would need to cooperate. The FSB had caught Samson and his men with counterfeit blue diamonds. They wanted Lucas to deliver those fakes to Boris. Lucas objected, saying Boris would kill him if he found out. The officer threatened Katia's safety, forcing Lucas to agree. The FSB promised to send Katia safely home afterward. They gave Lucas the counterfeit diamonds and instructed him to deliver them to Boris. During the deal, Boris's brother, Pavel, warned Lucas that if anything was wrong, he would face consequences. Boris stopped Pavel's threats and called in his expert to test the diamonds. Lucas manipulated the situation to make the fakes appear real. Boris was convinced and dismissed the expert. Lucas later reported back to the FSB. They told him his part was done and arranged his departure. Katia was escorted home, where her brother met her at the airport. However, Lucas's situation was not over. He received a message from Andrei, revealing that Piotr had resurfaced near Mirny and bought land there. Lucas called Vincent, asking him to contact Boris with an offer of $65 million for the blue diamonds and to stall the transaction. Vincent agreed, but warned that Boris would retaliate if he found out. Lucas tried to call his wife, but she did not answer. He left no message. He then went to see Ivan, Katia's brother. Soon after, Katia and her brothers drove Lucas deep into the countryside toward Pyotr's hideout. When they arrived, Lucas and Katia's brothers entered the cabin and found Andrei's dead body. Realizing the danger, Lucas told Ivan to take Katia home. Ivan urged Lucas to come with them and offered to take him to the airport, but Lucas refused, making it clear he had no escape left. Before leaving, Ivan handed him his hunting rifle. Lucas stayed behind at the cabin. Katia briefly returned to see him, concerned for his safety. He reassured her, saying Andrei would meet him soon. When she offered to stay, he refused and promised they would share French toast the next morning. Not long after, Pavel and Boris's armed men arrived. Gunfire erupted. Lucas barricaded himself inside and shot several attackers. Despite being hit multiple times, he continued firing and eventually fled into the woods. A running gunfight followed, during which he killed more of the henchmen before being shot in the back by Pavel. If you want more interesting videos like this, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thanks for watching.